Hello and welcome back to AC's Making and Repair. Well, it's been a while, probably about 3 weeks since I did a video. So for those that were waiting for a video, I'm sorry that I kept you waiting. Done a fairly major clean-up in my workshop area here over the past couple of weeks in the time I had. So I've managed to do a lot. In the background you're probably thinking I haven't done much of one, but believe it or not, I've done a major clean-up and it's been a lot better. And it feels really good to work in a good open, cleaner space. But today, nevertheless, today we've got a little project going on. I wanted to do some more file handles, so in order to do the file handles, what I like doing is drilling a hole down in the blank piece of timber first. Before I turn them in the lathe, I mark centres on both ends, exactly the same spot, and then I drill a hole down. That's what I like doing. Otherwise you've got to turn a cylinder, put it in a chuck and then drill it in the lathe. Because if you don't, sometimes whatever you put in it, whether it's a file or a shaft of some sort or some sort of thing that you're going to mount it on, it can be skew with and it can be off parallel with the centre line of what you've turned. So you can do this a number of ways. You can make a little timber jig up like this, and this holds it nice and square. So this is a blank here. This holds it nice and square, and you can clamp that down to your drill press table, and then you can bring your drill down and drill nice and square. Sometimes what I've found with timber ones though is they actually flex a little bit, and because of that it can be quite a nuisance at times. This one here is quite rigid, it's got a nice piece of hardwood on the back, that's fine, but I've been wanting to make a really good one for a while, so I've made one up out of steel today. So today that's what we're going to do, is I'm going to show you how I made the one up out of steel. I've got it so it's set at 90 degrees and I can adjust it to 45 if I want to. So if I want to do a miter with a dowel on it for some reason, I can do that if I needed to. So come along with me today and I'll show you how I did it. So the first thing I did is marked out where the pivot point was going to be on the vertical fence. This is the adjustable fence part. So I found centre, marked it out, centre punched it, and then went on to clamp the two pieces together, the base piece and this adjustable piece together, and I drilled them together in the drill press. Now I only clamped them together so I got them in the position that I wanted them in, so it was going to be right when I'm finished. After I drilled the pilot hole, I went on to drill a hole that was a snug fit around the bolt that I was going to use. I also marked a row of holes in the base piece, that yellow piece that you see there. I also marked a row of holes in that too. I actually ended up going along and marking 2 rows of holes eventually and drilling 2 rows of 1/2 inch holes staggered apart so I could alternate where I wanted to clamp it down on my drill press table. Now I've tacked that into place, I go on to weld the back of that mounting bolt. Just put a couple of small tacks on the back of that. This is nice and square. I will later drill a hole and tap it so it's exactly right angles. I do one for 90 degrees and one for 45 degrees, so I can just put a locating bolt in and it's exactly right. I tack the head of this bolt here now so it doesn't move. I welded both sides. I took away the welding segment of it so you didn't have to watch that. And also I weld a little lever on my main mounting bolt. This is the bolt that actually holds it to the table. I put a lever on the bottom part of the bolt so I can hold it and do up the wing nut on the top. I don't actually show the welding process here. Okay, so here's the finished product. Came up okay. I noticed I drilled a heap of holes in the back there to mount in different positions on the table here. Now I've sort of noticed my wing nut's a fraction too wide for that. That doesn't matter. I can put a nut on it if I have to. It'll go on the back holes, no worries, which I'll use probably mainly anyhow. But I thought drill all the holes while I can. So it gets mounted through these slots. And you'll notice I did this bolt. It's a cup head bolt with a square shank on it. Some are 1/2 inch like this is, so it holds it, so you don't even have to hold it. I put the handle on it in case, like this one's a bit bigger, so it doesn't hold it nice and tight. I can just hold that and do it up. So we mount that on there like this. We put that up from underneath. I'm just going to go through there like that. Put the washer on. Now put the wing nut on. Now I'm not going to do that up dead tight straight away because I want to be able to line up my block of timber, which I put down somewhere. Here it is. So there's my block of timber, and I'll get my clamp that I had on the last one I showed you guys. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that to where it is. So if I've got a series of these I want to do, there's my hole, there it is there. If I've got a series of these I want to do, this will hold them all exactly right. So what I'm going to do is I'll clamp that there now. Now in this situation, this piece is big enough to do this with. Now you can clamp both ways if you want. I'm just going to clamp one way for the time being. That's all I need. I'm going to bring my drill press down so it lines up the centre there. And once it's lined up the centre, I'm going to do my wing nut up. I've got a hole underneath if I have to. There we go, nice and tight. Now it's holding it nice and square, nice and parallel. Yeah, so well, Arthur, why didn't you just square the base? Why didn't you just square the base of your block of wood? Well, I do, but sometimes if it's a fraction out, that can throw that out of parallel. So just a fraction out on the squareness here can throw it out of parallel a few millimetres, and once again you got the same problem. Whereas if I got this nice and square up like that, works fine and works good. And I can just basically go ahead and drill my hole there now, like I'll just show you, just for the sake of drilling a hole. Oh, by the way, it's an idea to lock this off. So there you go, that hole should be dead true to the drill and dead parallel on all two sides. So that should be good. Now the other thing is, for a longer bit, if you have a longer piece of timber that you want to drill a hole in, I'll just pause you and I'll get a piece of longer stuff. Okay, so let's just say I want to drill it in that, but even if I lower my table, it's too long to fit below the drill because the table is too high, which this will be pushing the limit. I have another pedestal drill that I could fit nearly a metre underneath, or 3 or 4 foot, not quite 4 foot, probably 3 foot underneath the end of the drill bit. So it's ideal to go off the edge of the table in that case. So what I'd do in this situation, I'd undo this. Undo that. I would move it out to a situation like that, where it will be good. I'm just going to put this wing nut back on. Okay, so I've got my longer piece of timber and I want to put it in here to use it. So I clamp it in there. Now, I have another drill press that I can nearly fit a metre underneath the drill, between the metre and the floor. It's fairly tall old pedestal drill. So this is ideal for that sort of thing. And it's got a circular top so you can actually position it easier too. This one you can't pivot the top on, so you can't position it easily. However, here we are, we're doing this today. I clamped that on there. As you can see, I can fit probably 18 inches, 14 to 18 inches in there. And I just move that around till I get it exactly where I want it. So let's say that's centre, then I can drill my hole. And it works perfect for what we need. So look, I hope that was a help to somebody out there today. And if it was, please hit the thumbs up. Even if it wasn't a help to you, but you liked the video, please hit the thumbs up. That'd be a great help to our channel. It promotes our channel, gets more views, etc. like that. And I'd really appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed, hey, look, by all means subscribe. All sorts of different content there on the playlists, etc. Have a good look there. A variation between metalwork, woodwork, small engine repairs, etc. like that. Have a peruse through that. There's playlists there and plenty of videos. Probably about, I think this is my 67th video or something like that. But look, thanks for watching. Until next time, bye for now.